Warning. Actonville TV disclaimer. The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the host, authors, and do not necessarily reflect the official policy or position of any religious affiliation.
வணக்கம், நமஸ்தே, நமஸ்காரம், சாய்ராம், ஜெய் ஸ்ரீராம், சுவாமியே சரணம் ஐயப்பா, Om Shakti, Parashakti. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the show. We're currently streaming live in Lenasia South on Actonville TV. This is the Journey Show, the show about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host, Kimera, Heeralal, and if you'd like to interact in studio with us today, you can do so by commenting at the bottom of the screen, or if you want to hashtag your comment anonymous, you can do so by using our WhatsApp line, which you'll find at the bottom right throughout the entire show. Alright, so guys, welcome to the show. For those of you who are new, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to this channel if you haven't done that already. And if you have subscribed, please do share this link, as we are a growing station and a growing channel. Now today's topic of conversation is about the origins of Luxmi Devi Part 2. Alright, so this is episode 75. Now if you missed part 1, please backtrack on Actonville TV's YouTube channel and you can type in episode 74. So it's called The Origins of Luxmi Devi it's just Origins of Luxmi Devi episode 74. Now today is the Origins of Luxmi Devi part 2 episode 75. Well, this is the journey. Let's take a quick journey. Now as you know, we always open up our show exactly how our culture works and our religion works. We open up everything with Lord Ganesha. So let's open up the show with Bomba Bomba. Today it's been performed by, this is a hell of a list, Nadika, Sanjay, Adira, Prakash, Saran Ranswat, Shri Dashni, Amrita and Sahana Kaul. All of these people are from India. Let's check them out.
Amar basu vai karamba hidi age naam chaturana
Om Shakti, Parashakti. What a beautiful performance with a big group from India sending us their videos of Bomba Bomba. Guys, I gotta share a story with you. My Vijay Mama, my uncle, he used to sing this song every Christmas time when we all meet together, because this is the only time of the year that every single one of us from my mom's immediate family could actually be around at the same time in the same place. And he used to sing this song, I'm not gonna lie, after a couple of drinks, and we sit in our sunken lounge where the fireplace is, but very low because it's summertime, and we used to burn our marshmallows and we used to sing the song Bama Bama. So very good memories for me. Not very spiritual though, but very, very fond loving memories. Alright, I'd like to give a very warm welcome for everybody coming through on YouTube this evening. Well, before greeting, Vishnu Devi Mudli comes in and says, looks very professional presentation, Kimera. Thank you so much. Please do excuse my vocals, guys. I am very, very sick at the moment. I have the flu, so please forgive me for the way I sound. Vanakkam to Dashni Manikam this evening. Vanakkam. Vishnu Devi Mudli, love it already. Love your selections of songs. Thank you so much, Vishnu Devi Mudli. He continues to say Namaskaram, Vanakkam and Namaste. Well, good evening to you too, Mr. B. Alright. So thank you all for joining the show, interacting with us, and well, basically supporting this channel. As we know, it's a growing channel, it's a growing station, it's a small community station, and all we need to do is have you to uplift it, as the numbers count and the numbers make us what we are. Without you guys, we are nothing. Well, before we get to a commercial break, just a quick lineup of what today's show is about. So I'm going to have Dr. P.K. Maestri discuss with you guys via voice note. Unfortunately, he wasn't in town. So I do apologize if it seems a bit boring. Please show some support and stay on the line and watch the show. Dr. P.K. Maestri will give you a brief summary of what yesterday's show was about, so it's like a recap, and then we will move on to further invitations about our Luxmi prayers that's happening this Friday, and I will discuss the literature behind Luxmi Devi part 2. We'll come back straight after this commercial break.
Varalakshmi Virudham, on the 25th of August 2023. Kutu Villakku Puja at 7 p.m. Anyone wishing to partake in the Kutu Villakku Puja, kindly contact Shentil, Sue or Anusha on the numbers below for bookings and requirements list. Please note that booking is compulsory. Temple will be open from 6 a.m. Supper will be served.
Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swamiye Saranam Om Shakti, Para Shakti. After a bomba song, I forgot to share with you guys. After every Ganesha track, I was supposed to Jai Ganesha. I hope he forgives me upstairs. Alright, so as we're talking about our recap of the Luxmi Devi part 1, that was yesterday's episode, let Dr. PK Maestri tell you exactly what you missed.
Yesterday, we recorded from the Northwest, and today we're recording from the Northwest. We spoke about the origination of Goddess Luxmi, and it was said that she's the daughter of the sea god since she emerged from the sea. We also said Luxmi is the goddess of wealth, prosperity, of all forms, material and spiritual. And we also said, like in all Hindu mythology, Luxmi's origin story has many different versions. And we went through some of the versions with you yesterday. At the same time, we'd like to say that the stories of yesterday from the Puranas is a lesson that we should not get arrogant or angry, because it always leads to an inability to perform good work. We will lack mental peace, willpower, and have a meaningless life. It also shows us that we sometimes have to work with our adversaries, finding compromise and collaboration in order to restore order for a greater good. We also said she's draped in a red sari bedecked with gold ornaments, seated on a lotus, pot in hand, flanked by 2 elephants. And it adorns most Hindu homes and business establishments. She's the goddess of wealth, fortune, power, luxury, beauty, fertility, and auspiciousness. We also said, and we described about Shriman, Shrimati, married men, married women, and how they should be addressed. We also spoke about Om, which is associated with the mystical side of life. So, Sri Luxmi is referred to by that great name. So everything auspicious is Sri Luxmi, or you want to say Luxmi. The story first appeared regarding Luxmi in the Ramayana and the Mahabharata. We said that also. And then also in the Puranas, it appeared between 500 and 1500 AD. That's after the death of Christ. Also discussed the 8 forms of Luxmi: Adi Luxmi, Dana Luxmi, Dhanya Luxmi, Gaja Luxmi, Santana Luxmi, Dhairya Luxmi, Vijaya Luxmi, Vidya Luxmi. We say Luxmi is also considered a mother goddess when it comes to providing wealth in its 16 forms: knowledge, intelligence, strength, valor, beauty, victory, fame, ambition, morality, gold and other wealth, food grains, bliss, happiness, health, and longevity, and virtuous offspring. The 8 forms of Asta Luxmi, through an individual nature, are believed to fulfill these human necessities and desires. Let's talk about a little bit about Adi Luxmi, the first form. Adi Luxmi, also known as Mahalakshmi or the Great Luxmi, is, as the name suggests, is a form of Goddess Luxmi. She is regarded as the daughter of sage Briju and the wife of Lord Vishnu or Narayana. Adi Luxmi is often depicted as the consort of Narayana, living with him at his home is Vaikunda, or sometimes seen sitting in his lap. Her serving of Lord Narayana is symbolic of a service to the entire universe. Adi Luxmi is portrayed as 4-armed, holding a lotus and a white flag in her 2 hands, while the other 2 are in Abhaya Mudra, in which the right hand is held upright and the Varada Mudra, in which the right palm is held out with the fingers pointing down. Those are the various hand and palm actions that you see in the scriptures. Variously known as Rama, or the bestower of happiness, and Indra, or Indira, holding close to her heart the lotus as a symbol of purity. Adi Lakshmi is first of the 8 forms of Asta Lakshmi. Then, if you follow the Stotam, there's a Stotam dedicated to Lord Lakshmi. And you'll see on Luxmi Day the priest will recite that Stotam. Then, the second form is Dana Lakshmi. Dana means wealth in the form of money or gold. It is an intangible level, or at an intangible level. It may even mean inner strength, willpower, talent, virtues and character. Thus, the name Dhanalakshmi represents this aspect of the human world. And by a divine grace, we can get an abundance of wealth and prosperity. This form of Goddess Lakshmi is portrayed as 6-armed, wearing a red sari and holding in her 5 hands a discus, a conch, the holy pitcher, bow and arrow, and a lotus, while the 6th arm is in a Abhaya Mudra with gold coins rolling from her palm. As in the case of Adi Lakshmi, on Lakshmi Prayer Day, the priest will recite the mantra related to Dana Lakshmi. The third form is Dhanya Lakshmi. The third of the 8 forms of Asta Lakshmi is named after Dhanya, or food grains, full of natural nutrients and minerals required for a healthy body and mind. On one hand, Dhanya Lakshmi is the giver of agricultural wealth, and on the other, the all-important nourishment for human beings. With the divine grace, one can be assured an abundance of food all year round. Dhanya Lakshmi is shown adorned in green garments and with 8 hands carrying 2 lotuses, a mace, a sheaf of paddy, sugarcane and bananas. The other 2 hands is in the Abhaya Mudra and Varada Mudra positions, as we said earlier on. The lyrics again will be recited by the priest on Lakshmi Prayer Day. 4th form, Gaja Lakshmi, the elephant Lakshmi, was born out of the churning of the ocean. The fabled Samudra Mantram of Hindu mythology is the daughter of the ocean. Myths have it that Gaja Lakshmi helped Lord Indra regain his lost wealth from the depth of the ocean. This form of Goddess Lakshmi is the bestower, protector of wealth, prosperity, grace, abundance, and royalty. Gaja Lakshmi is depicted as a beautiful goddess flanked by 2 elephants, bathing her with water pots as she sits on the lotus flower. She wears the red garments and is 4-armed, holding 2 lotuses in 2 of her arms, while the other 2 arms are in Abhaya and Varada Mudra. Number 5, Santana Lakshmi. This form of Lakshmi, as the name suggests, Santana means offspring, is the goddess of progeny, the treasure of family life. Worshippers of Santana Lakshmi are bestowed with wealth of good children, possessing good health and a long life. This form of Goddess Lakshmi is depicted as 6-armed, holding 2 pitchers, a sword and a shield. One of the remaining hands is engaged in the Abhaya Mudra, while the other carries a child who is holding a lotus flower. The 6th form of Adi Lakshmi is called Veera Lakshmi. As the name suggests, Veera means valor, courage. This form of Goddess Lakshmi is the bestower of courage, strength and power. Veera-Lakshmi is worshipped to gain valor and strength to overpower formidable adversaries in war, or simply to overcome the difficulties of life and ensure a life of stability. She is depicted wearing red garments and is eight-armed, carrying a discus, a conch, a bow and arrow, a trident or a sword, a gold bar, or sometimes a book. The other two hands are in the Abhaya and Varada Mudra. The seventh form is called Vidya-Lakshmi. Vidya means knowledge as well as education. Not just degrees or diplomas from the university, but real all-round education. Thus, the form of the goddess Lakshmi is the giver of knowledge of the arts and sciences. Like the goddess of knowledge, Saraswati, Vidya-Lakshmi is depicted as sitting on the lotus, wearing a white sari. She is four-armed, carrying two lotus flowers in both hands. The two hands are in the Abhaya Mudra and Varada Mudra position. Now, when we say Abhaya Mudra and Varada Mudra, we discussed this when we discussed Adi Lakshmi in form number 1. The eighth form is called Vijaya-Lakshmi. Vijaya means victory, and this form of goddess Lakshmi symbolizes victory in all aspects of life, not just in war, but also in life's major struggles and little battles. Vijaya-Lakshmi is worshipped to ensure all-round victory in every aspect of life. Also known as Jaya-Lakshmi, which is shown sitting on a lotus, wearing a red sari and having 8 arms, carrying a discus, a conch, a sword, a shield, a noose, and a lotus flower. The remaining 2 hands in the Abhaya Mudra and Varada Mudra positions. So we have now covered the various forms of Lakshmi, which we pray and hope that will be beneficial to one and all of you, and especially on Lakshmi Puja Day, we will capture all these names again, the meanings of it, and the prayer. In other words, the mantra that is followed regarding the various forms. So we have already now gone through the forms: Adi Lakshmi, Dana Lakshmi, Dhanya Lakshmi, Gaja Lakshmi, Santala Lakshmi, Daira Lakshmi, Vijaya Lakshmi, Vidya Lakshmi. In the different books, you will notice that Lakshmi is pronounced and spelt in various forms. Whatever the forms, it is still Goddess Lakshmi. Goddess Lakshmi is also considered a mother goddess when it's come to providing wealth in all of its forms.
Thank you, Dr. P.K. Maestri from the MSK Temple in Lanesha South on Starling Street. Now, for those of you who didn't catch the recap, you can rewind on the bar on your YouTube channel. If you are on the YouTube link, I'm not sure. Some people are watching from YouTube, some are watching from Facebook. But whichever channel you are watching, the link is there. Click on it. You're welcome to rewind the show. We got Vishnu Devan coming in on YouTube saying Om Namah Lakshmi Namaha. Namaskaram again to you. Well, namaskaram to Devan Naidu. Welcome to the show, Devan. So nice to see you. Shame you must have had a very busy day. I know you're always the first one to greet. So thank you so much for joining the show. What you just missed, Mr. Naidu, is the recap of Luxmi Devi. Well, yesterday's episode, it was the recap that you just missed, but it's fine. We are doing now the origins of Luxmi Devi part 2. But before we get to that, let's take a quick break.
ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ
Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swamiye Saranammayappa, Om Shakti, Para Shakti. Welcome back, everybody. Alright, if you just joined us, you're a little late, but it's fine. You just missed the recap. Now we're beginning the origins of Luxmi Devi Part 2. Oh yeah. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I'm your host Kimera Heeralal, and you're currently watching The Journey. It's about exploring Hinduism as a whole. I'm your host Kimera Heeralal throughout the entire show. If you want to join the conversation and interact with me in studio today, you can do so by commenting at the bottom of the screen. Or if you want to keep your comments and your interactions anonymous, you can hashtag it anonymous and drop it in our WhatsApp line. Yeah. Alright, so we're talking about the origins of Luxmi Devi, part 2. So that means I'm moving on to the literature of Luxmi Devi, right? Gonna be a little difficult, so please just forgive me as I butcher the words throughout. Alright, so let's talk about the Vedas and the Brahmanas. Now, okay, Dr. P.K. Maestri mentioned them, I mentioned them, people who have helped me with the show have mentioned them, to all of our gurus, thank you so much. Alright, so basically the Vedas and the Brahmanas now, right? The meaning and the significance of Lakshmi actually evolved in ancient Sanskrit texts. Now, Lakshmi is mentioned once in the Rig Veda, in which the name is used to mean kindred mark. So meaning sign of auspicious fortune. So basically they're saying an auspicious fortune is attached to their words. Now before we talk about the Atharva Veda, let's take a look at a beautiful dance. This dance is basically the Pagyada Lakshmi Barama dance, and this was by the divine Nitriyalana from Mumbai, India. Let's take a look.
ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಂಬನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಂಬನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಂಬನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಬಲಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ ಗೆಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಮೇಲೆ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತ ಗೆಜ್ಜೆ ಕಾಲ್ಗಳ ಧ್ವನಿಯ ಮಾಡುತ್ತ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ಬೇಳೆಗೆ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಸಕ್ಕರೆ ತೂಪದ ಕಾಲುವೆ ಹರಿಸಿ ಶುಕ್ರವಾರದ ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ಅಕ್ಕರೆಯುಳ್ಳ ಅಲಗಿರಿ ರಂಗನ ಚೊಕ್ಕ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲನ ರಾಣಿ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ
That was the Bhagyada Luxmi Varama dance all the way from Mumbai, India. Wonderful girls. They look so pretty. So you know what I was telling the director now, when dancers dress, they look like the female version of a dhoti. But it's very pretty and it looks so presentable. I love it. All right, thank you all for being very patient with me. We are talking about the Vedas today, yeah? And we're talking about the Vedas and the Brahmanas. Now let's get back to it. So I spoke about the meaning and the significance of Lakshmi. And Lakshmi evolved in ancient sacred Sanskrit texts. So I've got Vishnu Devan coming in on YouTube saying, this is very informative. Thanks Dr. PK Maestri and Actonville TV for making this possible. You are most welcome, Mr. Woodley. Alright, so let's talk about the Atharva Veda. Now this was transcribed about, 1000 BCE, somewhat time ago. And Lakshmi evolves into a complex concept with plural manifestations. Now they call this one book, Book 7, Chapter 115. If you have it next to you, wow, I would love to have that book. Okay, but as my research says, Book 7, Chapter 115 of the Atharva Veda describes you call it the plurality, okay, asserting that 100 Lakshmis are born with the body of a mortal at birth, and some good, they call them virtuous, meaning punya means virtuous, and you just learned a new word today, and auspicious. So while others are bad, like papi means evil, and unfortunate. So the good are welcomed while the bad urge to leave. Now the concept and the spirit of Lakshmi and her association with fortune and the good is significant enough that Atharva Veda means it's in multiple books. For example, in book 12, chapter 5 is the Punya Lakshmi. In some chapters of the Atharva Veda, Lakshmi connotes the good and the auspicious sign, good luck, good fortune, prosperity, success, and happiness. Oh, I love the last one. Now later, Lakshmi is referred to as the goddess of fortune. Okay, and identified with Shri and regarded as the wife of Vishnu, also known as Narayana. Now, for example, in Sadapata Brahmana, variously estimated to be composed of between, say, 800 BCE and 300 BCE. Okay, and Shri, meaning Lakshmi, is part of one of many theories. And in ancient India, about the creation of the universe, in book 9, the Shatapatha Brahmana, Shri emerges from Prajapati after his intense meditation on the creation of life and nature of the universe. Shri is described as a resplendent and trembling woman at her birth with immense energy and powers. The gods are bewitched, desire her, and immediately become covetous of her. The gods approach Prajapati and request permission to kill her and then take her powers, talents, and gifts. Prajapati refuses, tells the gods that men should not kill women and that they can seek her gifts without violence. Now the gods then approach Lakshmi. Agni gets food, Soma gets kingly authority, Varuna gets imperial authority, Mitra acquires martial energy, Indra gets force, Brihaspati gets priestly authority, Savitri acquires dominion, Pushan gets splendor, Saraswati takes nourishment, and Tvastri gets forms. Now the hymns of Shatapatha Brahmana thus describe Shri as a goddess born with and personifying a diverse range of talents and powers. Beautiful, hey? Nobody knew the true stories and the true belief behind the Luxmi Devi. Me doing this research actually shocked me today, and I'm very, very proud to say, wow, I'm a Hindu and I pray to Luxmi Devi, and now I know I can ask for more. And she's got almost everything behind her. Well, most of our deities do, but today we're discussing Luxmi Devi. So now, according to another legend, right, she emerges during the creation of the universe and floating over the water over the expanded petals of a lotus flower. Now she is also variously regarded as wife or dharma, or they even call her mother of karma, and the sister or mother of Datar and Vadatar. Now wife or Dattatreya, one of the 9 Shaktis of Vishnu, a manifestation of Praktri, as identified with Dakshayani in Bharatasrama as Sita. And with all of these names, it's described as that, and as Sita, wife of Rama. Now, if you look at the epics, guys, now in the epics of Hinduism, such as in your Mahabharatas, Lakshmi personifies wealth, riches, happiness, loveliness, grace, your charm, and your splendor. Now, in another Hindu legend about the creation of the universe, as described in the Ramayana, Lakshmi springs with other precious things from the foam of the ocean of milk, as Dr. P.K. Maestri has explained to you. And when it is churned by the gods and the demons for the recovery of Amrata, she appeared with a lotus in her hand, and so she is called Padma. Now, Sita, a female protagonist of the Ramayana, and her husband, the god King Rama, are considered as avatars of Lakshmi and Vishnu, respectively. Now, in the Mahabharata, Draupadi is described as a partial incarnation of Shri Lakshmi. However, other chapters of the epic states that Lakshmi took the incarnation of Rukmini, the chief wife of the Hindu god Krishna. Now, when we come back, we're going to talk about the Upanishads. Let's take a quick break straight after this.
ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ನಮ್ಮಮ್ಮನಿ ಸೌಭಾಗ್ಯದ 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 ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಮೇಲೊಂದೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತ ಗೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಕಾಲಿನ ನಾದವ ತೋರುದ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಹೆಜ್ಜೆ ಮೇಲೊಂದೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ನಿಕ್ಕುತ್ತ ಗೆಜ್ಜೆಯ ಕಾಲಿನ ನಾದವ ತೋರುದ ಸಜ್ಜನ ಸಾಧು ಪೂಜೆಯ ವೇಳೆಗೆ ಮಜ್ಜಿಗೆಯೊಳಗಿನ ಬೆಣ್ಣೆಯಂತೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ ಕನಕವೃಷ್ಟಿ ಕರೆಯುತ್ತ ಬಾರೆ ಮನಕೆ ಮಾನವ ಸಿದ್ಧಿಯ ತೋರೆ ದಿನಕರ ಕೋಟಿ ತೇಜದಿ ಹೊಳೆಯುವ ಜನಕರಾಯನ ಕುಮಾರಿ ಬೇಗ ಭಾಗ್ಯದ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಬಾರಮ್ಮ
I know we missed a lot of temples that are having their prayers, their Lakshmi prayers this Friday. Remember, guys, we're still a growing station, so if you are from a specific temple and you're watching this show, let us know if you want to put your poster up, as we can do this in the near future. Now, let's read our comments coming in from YouTube this evening. We got Vishnu Devan Mudli saying, wow, we should be raving at your content and presentation. Love it. He also comes in through YouTube saying, wonderful show. What a boon for South Africa and Hindus around the globe. Mr. Mudli, you got a good sense of humor. He also says, a sterling job being done here, Kimera and Andy. Thank you so much, Uncle Vishnu Devan Mudli. We really appreciate it. Thank you so much for supporting the show. All right, ladies and gentlemen, getting back into it now. We were talking about, we mentioned the literature behind Luxmi Devi's story and her legends, right? So we spoke about the epics. We spoke about the yeah, we spoke about the epics, we spoke about the Mahabharata a little bit, and then we also now need to move on to the Upanishads. Now please forgive me as I butcher these words throughout the entire show. I ask for forgiveness as I am English speaking. So let's look at the Upanishads, right? Now the Upanishads. Shakta Upanishads are dedicated to the Tri-Devi of goddess Luxmi. Now, if you look at it, the Shakta Upanishads are actually dedicated to the Tri-Devi, meaning goddess Lakshmi, Saraswati, and Parvati, right? Now, the Subhaga, please forgive me, the Subhaga Lakshmi Upanishad describes the qualities, characteristics, and powers of Lakshmi. Okay, now in the second part of the Upanishad, the emphasis shifts to the use of yoga, and it transcends from material craving to achieve spiritual knowledge and self-realization, the true wealth. So don't ever pray for richness and just happiness. Say wealth, or your wealth, health, like that. Yeah. So Sabhagya, meaning the Lakshmi Upanishad, synonymously uses Shri to describe Lakshmi. Yeah. Let's look at the Shotram and the Sutras quickly. So numerous ancient stotram and sutras of Hinduism recites hymns dedicated to Lakshmi. Now she is a major goddess in the Puranas and in the Itihasa of Hinduism. Now in ancient scriptures of India, all women are declared to be embodiments of Lakshmi. For example, here's something I read word for word. Every woman is an embodiment of you. You exist as little girls in their childhood, as young women in their youth, and elderly women in their old age. Sri Kamala Chotram. Every woman is an emanation of you. Sri Davatra Lakshmi Chotram. Now, ancient prayers dedicated to Lakshmi seek both material and spiritual wealth in prayers. So here it goes. Through illusion, a person can become disconnected from his higher self, wandering about from place to place. Bereft of clear thought, lost in destructive behavior, it matters not how much truth may shine forth in the world, illuminating the entire creation, for one cannot acquire wisdom unless it is experienced through the opening on the heart. Beautifully said. Coming up next, Kivashan Munsami and Akilan Munsami from Actonville, Benoni, ladies and gentlemen, and they're also from the MSK SSA, the Sri Mariamman Kaliamman Siva Subrahmanyam Alayam Temple. Now here is Kivashan and Akilan with the medley. Check them out.
மாரியம்மா தேவியம்மா காளியம்மா கண்ணகியம்மா ஓம் சக்தி பராசக்தி ஓம் சக்தி பராசக்தி ஓம் சக்தி பராசக்தி.
ஓம் சக்தி பராசக்தி Shakti. Beautiful performance by Kibashan Munsami and Akilan Munsami and their team at the SMK SSA, the Sri Mariamman Kaliamman Siva Subrahmanyam Alayam, all the way in Benoni, and everybody knows it as the Weinberg Street Temple. So yeah, love them. Gotta love them. I love the vibe. I love the energy. Thank you guys so much for sharing your content with us right here on Attenville TV. Alright, for those of you who just joined the show, you are a little late, but it's fine. You can backtrack it and click on the link again and watch the show over and over, or you can watch it from the beginning. So yeah, and we were talking about the origins of Luxmi Devi part 2 today, and this is episode 75 if you are searching for it. If you want to know what happened in part 1, please search for episode 74. Alright, so now before you go, I thought to let you guys know I'm going to talk about the Puranas, okay? I don't know if I should do this tomorrow. I think it should fit tomorrow. Yeah, so let's talk about the Puranas tomorrow. We're also going to mention the Sabhasita, the Genovic, and the didactic literature. A little bit in depth. I hope it's not a bit too boring, but I also think that this channel is here to teach you. So let's get past all the origins of our deities, and let's get past all the literature of our religion, and then we'll get to the most exciting things and simple things. Like, a lot of people are like, hey, you know, I left my lamp at 6 o'clock, my mother told me to do it, but then you don't even know why you did it. Why? You know, simple things like that. It will get a bit more exciting. But tomorrow we're going to concentrate on the literature behind Luxmi Devi, and that is going to be the origins of Luxmi Devi part 3. Yeah? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we come to that time of the show where we have to do our, let's do our 108 principles, and then we got a little surprise of informative content waiting for you. So let's take a look at the 108 principles of the value system from the Thirukural. The lesson for today is...
Today's lesson from the 108 principles of the value system of the Thirukural is number 51. Develop your wisdom.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, beautiful lesson. Okay, so today's lesson basically develop. Okay, today's lesson is, can you put it up for me on the screen again, director? Put it up on the screen. Let's talk.
Today's lesson from the 108 principles of the value system of the Thirukural is number 51. Develop your wisdom.
So as you know, today's lesson at number 51, develop your wisdom. I was quite shocked to see the spelling of the word develop there, but it's exactly like that in the Thirukural. Just give it to us like that, you wouldn't believe it. Okay, so you should develop your wisdom as we are on this show. This is Exploring Hinduism. I'm educating you. Some people educate me, and it's a beautiful lesson to be taught here, right here on the Journey Show. And today's lesson, well, develop wisdom. We're developing wisdom. Alright, coming in on Facebook from Manhaj, he says, very nice job. Thank you, my darling, for joining the show. I believe it's your very first time. Shout out to you. And please do subscribe to the channel if you haven't done it already. And make sure you click on the bell icon so that you can be notified every time we stream live. Alright, let's take a look at the informative information that we've compiled for you. And as we say, you know, develop wisdom. Let's check it out.
Namma
lessons happening on the Journey show and exploring Hinduism. I'd like to give a shout out to Manhaj again for saying very nice job. I know him as Hussein. Welcome to the show, honey. I hope you registered, or should I say subscribe to our channel, and I hope you clicked on the bell icon and says all, so you can watch every single show, and every time we go live, this channel will notify you that we are live. Alright, as we come towards the end of the show and we're running over time, let's take a look at if you need any of these services done and you need a guru, please contact Guru Indresan. He does the Jandagam, or you can call it your astrological readings, also known as your Panchagam. He also does your Navagara Shanti, as well as your house prayers, your business prayers, your car prayers, your temple and hall weddings, not forgetting your ceremonies like your 16 days and your 1 year. He also does your Janda prayers, your auspicious Hawans, and your Kumbha Abhishekams. If you need to contact Guru Indresan, you can do so via his WhatsApp line, or you can call him on 081 325 0115. I'll give it to you again. It's 081 325 0115. Alright, well, that's all the time we have for today, folks. Tomorrow you can join us for the show called The Origins of Luxmi Devi Part 3. It's going to be an exciting show. Well, from myself, Kimera, Heeralal, Vanakkam, Namaste, Namaskaram, Sai Ram, Jai Shri Ram, Swami Saranam Ayyappa, Om Shakti, Para Shakti. Good night, everyone.